inheriting the name of Yahshua. So, I'm a little early today, but that's the spirit. And I prepared a lesson. Exactly. Verse 5. So, this is about, the lesson is about history. So you have to know your history. Like what I'm saying is, if I'm claiming to be a Hebrew Israelite, and I'm just going to wear fringes, and that's it. I don't have to study. I don't have to study. Where's the real honor? So knowing who you are is important, and then feeling who you are is important too. Week 1 of 5 weeks. There was in the days of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias of the course of Abiah, and his wife was of the daughters of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth. So, said two things, three really. The ruler of the people, so there was in the days of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest. So that's the first character in that sentence that you need to figure out. So we have some, I have some information. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, let's look for it again. There it is. Bring up this information, and it says, who was Herod? And then it's at Bible Gateway blog, right? So this is a history lesson. One of the central figures in the Christmas, it's almost time. Christmas story is Herod the Great, who was king of the Jews. Who was king of the Jews when Yahushua was born. Herod and his sons ruled there during the life of Yahushua's ministry. I read that. It said Yahushua's life and ministry. Well, his ministry is so. Time period would be 37 BC to 4 BC. So here it goes. How Herod got his power. Herod the Great ruled as king of the Jews under Roman authority for 33 years. So he was really appointed that office by Rome. 33 years from 37 to 4 BC. And another thing to know is what's BC. So BC is before Mashiach, so BC would be Christ, right? So you just look at that. lesson is about Herod, the dude in history book that matches up with the Bible. So it's really a history lesson, but it's good to know about the captivities that we've been in, about the history. You know, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Esau. It's all good. So if you get Matthew 2, Luke 1 and 5.
Luke 1 and 5.
Start at Luke 1.
So Luke 1 and 1?
Yeah.
It's the book of Luke 1 and 1. For as much as many have taken in hand to set forth in order a declaration of those things which are most surely believed among us.
So those things that are going to be spoken of right now is what I'm talking to you about, our history. So this is important for us to discuss as men of the Israelite nation, sons of Jacob, because this is our history. This is what we have, what's it called? I don't want to say pride, but we can talk about it because this pertains to us. So, sure.
2. Even as they delivered them unto us, which from the beginning were eyewitnesses and ministers of the word.
Eyewitnesses to those miracles. You've seen them. These people, we've seen them too because we were back there. And there's a lot of miracles happening. Because some of the Northern Kingdom stayed over there. Not all of them. But there was miracles happening. So there's a big miracle in here that happened in Herod, that king that was appointed by the Roman Empire to rule over Jews in the land of Israel. To the eyewitness. So keep going.
Verse 3. It seemed good to me also, having had perfect understanding of all things from the very first, to write up unto thee in order, most excellent Theophilus.
So there's a lot of miracles happening. So let's go to Mark. Are you at 4?
Luke or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just read 5 too.
Okay. 4 and 5?
Yeah.
That thou mightest know the certainty of those things wherein thou hast been instructed. There was in the days of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias, of the course of Abed, and his wife was of daughters of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth.
So there was a history right there. Those two histories are going to tie up right now. The history of the Jews and the Israelites and the history of the Romans. So the Roman Empire set King Herod, the fake ass king, over Jews. And I'm just trying to, this lesson is being brought up so that you non-believers start getting it in your head that this actually happened and the Bible is written only for the Israelites.
Yeah, but it's a family book.
This is a family book. Yeah.
It's a family book.
It's a family book. And then, you ever heard the saying family jewels? You're involved in family jewels. That's where you have all the history. You have all your family in there, basically. All of your family that died. If we stayed here long enough, in 4 or 5 generations, your grandfather would come back. And then they would start all over again. But that's not what's going to happen. So there's Herod, and then you look at Herod in the timeline, 37 BC to 4 BC. So at that point in time, it was Israelites. And they were talking about Yahushua before that. Yeah. What made me do this lesson is that Knucklehead said the Bible was written 500 years before it happened.
That's it.
So that was funny. But here's something that's not funny. It's true. Okay, so the daughters of Aaron and married into Zechariah. So that family was just 2 families joined together. See? So you can trace that history. So there was. So now we're going to go to Mark 6 and 14.
6 and 14.
Yeah.
Mark 6 and 14. And King Herod of him, for his name was spread abroad. And he said that that John the Baptist was rising from the dead, and therefore mighty works do show forth themselves in him.
So, what did that say? He was rising from the dead. So, why is that important? Why is that important? Well, let me read a little thing from this about Herod. So, from the start, Herod proved to be an extraordinary political survivor. When civil war broke out in Rome between Mark Antony and Octavian, Herod first sided with Antony and his ally Cleopatra, etc. So I was searching for a couple of hours, just trying to read the,
You know, because it's all about research, you know.
yeah. So, and I didn't want to look at because I got the information right here. So, Mark Antony and Octavian were like, one was a general and the other ruled from the Senate. So they had a war, and then that's the first time that there was a Caesar. So there was one guy in power. So that happened, and that's important because they were killing each other. So you heard rumors were like, man, this guy just got killed. So John the Baptist got killed in the same way, in a pretty gruesome way.
Because of that woman, because he was telling them that can it have fornicate with the brother, and with the brother, yeah.
Yeah. So let's go back to Mark 6 and 14, and then read that recourse.
And King Herod heard of him, for his name was spread abroad, and he said that John the Baptist was risen from the dead, and therefore mighty works do show forth themselves in him.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm bringing this out about Herod is because there's two Herods. There's a Herod that I was reading about, and then there's the Herod that was when Yahusha, after Yahusha was older. Because remember, Yahusha had to go to Egypt when the first Herod was like, there's king of the Jews going to be born. So he thought it was an assault. That's why he tried to kill all the babies, because that's how it was back then.
Yeah.
You take out your competition. You don't want him to rise into power, because then that's what he was afraid of. This American kid is going to be empowered. He's going to have power. I don't want that.
I'm going to start with Moses too.
Yeah.
They're killing the.
Yeah.
You know.
So let's go back to Mark 16 and then get the next one. 16 and
6
15.
or 6?
Well, no, 6 and 15, my bad.
It's Mark 6 and 15. Others said that is Elias, and others said that is the prophet, or as one of the prophets.
So it was a prophet, right? So this is what is going to get him and us into a certain situation. Because we're trying to fight for righteousness. You know what I'm saying? We're all trying to fight for righteousness. Here I am trying to fight this fucking mandate. And then the government finally put a fucking halt to that mandate. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You see?
And then I've seen too, it's like that soldiers, they're getting punished right now because the unvaccinated ones, so they flag their social, they're not social, but the service, and then now they can't even go into higher ranks, they can't decorate, they can't participate in military academies, they flag them, the unvaccinated ones.
See, so there's going to be a big uprising. It's going to be Jacob's trouble because it's some bad stuff. But I was thinking also, it's time for people to see miracles. You know, it's time for miracles.
That's the only way people believe, you know?
Yeah, that's the only way they're going to believe. But the thing is, it's been 2,000 plus years since the last miracles. Miracles like the one we're going to talk about right now, yeah, those are the ones that we're going to start seeing. So, carry on.
17. So it's like 16. But when Herod heard thereof, he said, it is John whom I have beheaded. He is raising from the dead.
There you go. No, there you go. That's the point. That's the talking point right there. It's like Herod is like, what the fuck? Let's kill this kid.
Yeah.
I mean, now he's scared.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. So now, and I think this is Herod and Antipas, which is one of the sons of Herod. And Herod the Great was the one who tried to kill all the babies. And he also killed killed his wife and 3 of his sons and his mother-in-law.
Well, that's right, yeah.
Just because he was scared of competition. So
Yeah.
imagine how scared he is of the outside. Because this guy got raised up because of the power of the outside. So let's read that one again, 16.
But when Herod heard thereof, he said, It is John whom I beheaded. He is risen from the dead.
He was risen from the dead.
I forgot that he did kill him.
See, that's
How scared you know what I mean?
yeah, that's scary. Like, I just cut his goddamn head off, and I had it on a platter.
Yeah. Like that, the one they said, they call it Black Jesus from Africa or something. And before he told him, he's all, there's gonna be more of me, like, there's gonna be more of me.
So that would be John the Baptist, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And they say chop them up and they send the body parts to like different places of the country, of different countries.
And they burned them.
Yeah.
And they fucking did all kinds of crazy shit.
But that's Esau because when he was in the plane, they shot him. They shot him and they did all that shit. And they sent his body parts to different places. And he still managed to come there and told them that I can't, or I forgot what he said, but I know for sure he said there'll be many of like me.
But he meant there was many of me, and they won't be as nice as I am.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because we're in that kind of state where we're fucking ready.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sick of this, right? So, let's go back to that miracle. That miracle was awesome.
15.
Yeah, read that. 15 and 16 there.
Others said that is left, and others said that it's a prophet or as one of the prophets. But when Herod heard thereof, he said, It is John whom I beheaded. He is rising from the dead.
Man. He killed this guy. So, man, y'all know you've been in fights. Remember when you see that dude after you fought him? How do you feel? Like you're gonna have to fight again, right?
Yeah.
You get that feeling like, oh shit. Imagine Herod. God damn.
But I just, you know what I mean?
Fucking murked this guy.
Yeah, he's scared, you know, he's
Yeah.
just like, damn.
So those soldiers that did that to our prophet brother from Africa, imagine how scared they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the time they got him in the airplane, that was like the 3rd time they tried to kill him.
Yeah, it seems like, yeah. They shot him in the plane and everything. But he still managed to come back and then to tell him that.
Yeah. That's the power that we're gonna have and share. It sounds scary to be killed, right?
Yeah.
But you're just gonna get put back together. That's what the real faith is. God damn. We're gonna be under that guillotine, or maybe some of us will, and that guillotine is gonna come, chop our head off, and then our head's still gonna be talking. Our body's gonna go up to the head, pick it up, put it back on, and then start getting busy.
Yeah.
That's a possibility, right? Let's talk about that being a possibility. If John the Baptist was doing miracles, came back and did more miracles.
I had a dream 2 nights ago that the chariots came and were fucking up the lasers, fucking up buildings and things like that. I got out of the city, and then it was like I had powers like, you know, the Power Rangers, the super strength and that. I have powers like that, and it felt good, you know. I was able to like jump up pretty high too and super strength. But then I woke up and I was like, holy shit, you know, like this is real, you know? Like it felt real.
But it's pretty good. It's a pretty good feeling. So, you know, that's what's going to happen. Those things are going to come back. So let's go to Mark 6 and 3.
6 and 3. 6 and 3. Is not this the comforter, the son of Mary, the brother of James, and Joseph, and of Judah, and Simon? Are not his sisters here with us?
So now they're talking about Yahushua. So see how I'm talking about history?
Yeah.
There's another history. They're naming people that are not in the Bible, but they are part of the Bible. They're part of the Southern Kingdom, and they're naming them off.
Yeah. Hey, I have this too.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about our people being in the history, right? So you know, I'm going to what's called the Maccabees, right? Because you know, in the Maccabees, let me just read the first precept. And it happened after Alexander, the son of Philip, that Macedonian, who came out of the land of Philip, had smite Darius, the king of Persia, me that he resigned in the steep and first over Greece. So it says Alexander, son of Philip, right? So it's talking about Alexander the Great. everyone knows Alexander the Great, how he reigned for like 10 to 12 years, then he died. But, you know what I mean? So, but it says the son of Philip. And then I did Google it real quick. Yeah, kind of. I Googled it and show the camera real quick. So it's right there. Look at Alexander the Great. Look at his father, Philip. So this book is in the history, man. You know?
That's how they had to take their pocket out.
Yeah.
This is telling on us.
Yeah. They had to because it was the history, you know? Because if it wasn't for the Apocrypha, we wouldn't even know what happened to the Northern Kingdom.
It's society. The society was a good society. They would teach history and marry it with the Bible. They'd be like, look, this is Philip. This is Alexander the Great. When they're teaching that he respected the Jews, real Jews.
Yeah.
And they were blah. Be down to history. And then every lesson would be, look, this is what the Bible has to do with it. Like,
Yeah. Because the connections are there. The connections are there.
so you gotta look at the key words. Philip the Macedonian, and that's why people get headaches and demons jump on them when they're reading the Bible because they don't look nothing up.
Yeah.
And they try to power by at one sentence, at one scripture, and they get confused by the time. There's scriptures in there like, oh shit.
Yeah, because they don't know, because this is the history. You know, like brother said, it was the history, you know? So you got to know the history, the kings too from back then. You know what I mean?
That's why it's important to be a man. Because you trace your history.
Yeah.
Read 6 and 3, please.
6 and 3. It's not this the comforter of son of Mary, the brother of James, who says, and of Judah and Simon, are not his sisters here with us? And they were offered offended at him.
So they were offended at your outfit. But they don't understand, look what you did for, well, they're not going to understand right now. They're going to get when the miracles start happening. So let's go to Revelation 1 and 7. You know, like, they're like, this is just a man.
Yeah.
You know, his dad works for pennies.
Yeah, because they said the people too, they didn't know. Isn't that they call him Jesus of Nazareth? Like they couldn't believe it was like, wait, that's the one that has a spirit.
Yeah.
You know, isn't that the carpenter? You know, his father's Joseph. Like they you know, kind of like us. People look at us, they wouldn't believe we're prophets. They're like, oh, that's such and such dad or son.
That's what they say. I can't believe that guy is this guy.
Yeah. Revelation 1 and 7. Yeah. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. And they also the spirits and all the kindreds of the earth shall bow because of him. Even so, amen.
So hey, he's coming with the whole party. He's coming with clouds, which are the angels and the chariots, and they're ready to do business. Remember how we were talking about that prophet that came from out of heaven, how we should put him down here, and we let him get captured. We let him get diced and chopped up and killed a lot of times, but he got brought back. Those brothers are driving those chariots. They're all of him. So that's the first point. The second point is all eyes shall see. All eyes that were alive back then when the Yahushua was on the scene are here now through the reincarnation or reborn spirits in new flesh. So that's what's available. And then even they that pierced him. Okay, now let's get back to finish. Who pierced him? Roman soldiers.
Roman soldiers, yeah. They're pierced.
And these niggas got fucking history books themselves. They probably got the names of the family members, of the sons of those soldiers that pierced them.
Oh, yeah. Because y'all seen the video too that even old Edomites had receipts of slaves that they all sold into their family. That they were slaves. I seen that video, a brother's video. But yeah, I think a guy went into the library, which he looked like an Edomite too. But he opened up a book and there was receipts of slaves being sold to the family, to a family.
That's crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, so there's, like I said, there's receipts that, or
Yeah,
there has to be.
There has to be records.
Record, there you go.
Just like our Holy Scripture is just for us, that kind of information is just for you.
Yeah.
because he was foretold
For one.
Malachi 5.
There's a. Oh, smell. Yeah, because it's true though, because they don't say that Apocrypha ain't what's it called?
It ain't canon biblical.
Yeah, yeah. But the funny thing is, if you look at the book of Tobit, right? The dad Tobit told Tobias to get out of that city. The one where Jonah's supposed to tell the people. There you go. That he told him, hey, get out of that city because there's a prophet named Jonah that prophesied of that destruction happening there. It tells you that in the book of Tobit. So how can you not connect that book and then Baruch 2, which was second hand of Jeremiah?
Man, so then see, that's why people are afraid of Jesus, man. They talk shit about the elders and the apostles, and then that trickles down to the other camps that splintered off from GMS, or
Like
the
Safari or the tribe, what's that, Chicago?
and the ones that are like us, that we follow the doctrine, and we teach the doctrine. So now they got all of us mixed up in that. They're fearing us because look at these guys believe this so much. And the people that send the people out, like Mocap Malone, or Locals Malone, or whatever this is, Mocap Malone. They're the ones that have those records about those soldiers that pierced our Lord. Yeah. And they have the family history of all fucking Edomites, like the one that Hadad that got sent to Egypt from First Kings, that one that came. He came up against the house of Solomon. They have records of that. And they sent these guys out to destroy the faith, but they can't destroy the faith. Because miracles like John the Baptist, didn't we just decapitate this guy? Yeah. Didn't we just take this crew down to the fucking. They're gonna be like, didn't we just take the 12 camp down to the fucking Egypt?
Yeah. There's a you know 4-1. It's like there's no 5.
Oh yeah, 4-1.
Okay. There's Malachi 4:1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, mean, and all that do wickedly shall be stumbled, and that day that cometh shall burn them up. Saith the Most High of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
Man, that day's gonna come. It's gonna burn like an oven.
So wickedly. Wicked.
And yes. Wonder where I see that. So it must have been something else. So let's go to and that's gonna happen. It was prophesied about. So Isaiah 9:6. And I always get beside myself when like I read the scripture before, but I didn't get this. So there was a time where I was reading the Bible when I was just a Christian, and I was like, read this before, but it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Read it.
Yeah. 9:6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Prince of Peace. So this was he was prophesied about, and this was what Barak was afraid of. The Prince of Peace, because in order to have peace, you have to take out whatever's causing war. And then we'll finish with Matthew 1:16.
Matthew 1:16. And Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, from whom were born the Yahushua, who was called Mashiach.
Yeah, there you go. That's the son that was born. That's the son we're waiting for. And then, see, man.
They don't put this in the history books.
You don't put and also these Christian priests and the Catholic priests, they don't put these scriptures together for you to understand.
Yeah.
They don't slap these beats on.
They don't quote precept upon precept.
Like they read stuff like in Revelation, but they won't tell you what chapter they're reading out.
Yeah,
They won't what verse.
yeah, because they read one verse or one precept, and then they just add on to their shit, but they don't even really tell you what it actually means. Though.
So, you know, that was my lesson. You want to come up here and do yours? We're waiting for another brother, but I don't know if he can show up.
I actually brought up like a little,
Little lamp.
yeah, like a little answer. I don't know if we, I should put it right there, which is right here.
Yeah, put it up on.
All right.
Perfect. Yeah, that shows us where we're at. Awesome. And then now we know that we have to turn on at 5.
Gotcha.
So now we know that it's turned on and we need to go.
That's a,
Maybe not. We'll finish campus. But next time. Because I'd rather do it on Fridays. Just to be honest.
oh yeah.
That's about it.
Everyone's busy on the wickedness of that seems like yeah, so I want to speak on today about the real alms, you know? Because you know how these churches, they be saying to get alms and things like that, but the realization is like, why is it that when you go to a church though, they get that silver plate to put money in? What the hell? Why is it that you have to do that? You know, it doesn't make sense. I know when I came to you guys' camp, you know, the first time, you guys didn't ask for donation. You guys open arms and everything. Here, minors. So why is it that you go to this church though, and next thing you know, there's a plate being passed by, and then if you don't even put money in it, other people look at you like, you didn't even put money, you don't even care. Right? So that's the thing, man. Like, so I want to speak upon today about the real alms. You know, you get the first book of Timothy, chapter 1, 5 and 6. Yeah, because